Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. The lady with the mostest, it's Marie-Ève Mongrain joining us here today. She is spectacular, working worldwide, girl, helping so many people, health, wealth, and well-being, and just so many different ways. She's not just a coach, she's a friend, she's a mom, she's just a wife, she's everything. And we're excited to have her here because she really has a unique insight on life and the law of attraction. Marie, I'll let you speak and say hello.
Thank you so much for having me again. And I'll be here for a while, apparently.
Yay, good. Glad to hear it.
Thank you. I apologize for my voice today. This week it's a little on and off. But it's not on and off. It's my sexy voice.
I love it. Yes.
So I'm Marie-Ève Mongrain. I'm a life coach. Right now I'm located on the south shore of Montreal in Quebec, Canada. And I'm looking to anyone who wants to work with me. I'm sharing now my knowledge with you guys, my insight, because I believe that to work with someone, you gotta, have an insight. Like you gotta give some skin to get some skin back, right?
It's so true. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are excited to have you here. And what do you want to talk about for today?
First of all, I will say that my website, which is still down, but it's gonna be up on Friday. Should be ready on Friday, and I'm super excited. I saw I'm working with GoDaddy because I'm someone who's ultra independent and I do everything by myself. And then a few weeks ago, I said, no more, I will hire someone to do that. And I'm so glad because they sent me oh, here, look at your website. We're going to do some modification. And I look at it, and I'm like, oh my God, the whole time I'm oh my God, this is so amazing. I would not have done that. So I'm super happy. And so MarieEveMongrain.com on Friday afternoon, everything will be perfect. And you can go and look at it if you want. Until then, you can find me on Instagram at MarieMongrain90 or even TikTok, which I spend a lot of time there. I'm always on TikTok. So if you're looking for me, look for TikTok. I'll be there. It's also MarieMongrain90.
Oh, great. Well, it's exciting to have you. I haven't seen you on TikTok yet, but let's explain. I mean, you've done so much for so many people. I know your life story. We all know, a lot about you. What in particular today do you have for us? I see your notes there.
Yes, my pages. Christmas. Look, I'm going to show you. So you guys who are listening, you can't see, but I decorated for Christmas. Last week I thought it was getting stuff out. And I was in alignment, and now I'm all decked up for Christmas. Want to see my tree? You want to see my tree?
Yes.
It's not fully done yet, but I still have my precious ornaments that need to be.
That is beautiful. Those pinks and purples and blues, and that is gorgeous. This is really beautiful. Wow.
And raspberry sugar cane, not the peppermint, the raspberry one. Or cherry.
Well, that sure puts you in the spirit, doesn't it? There's something about the holidays that gets us going. Some people, though, go the other way and get depressed.
Yes. For me, actually, it actually helps me. And even I'm going to show you my dining room, obviously. It's all.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I love your cat.
Her name is Sissy.
Hi, Sissy. Oh, that's my sister. I call her Sissy Sis, but okay.
Oh. But yeah, for me, even this year, it's weird because usually I like to decorate early. Not because it's oh, I want to get Christmas, but the time it takes me and the energy it takes me to get everything out of my garage. I have to move stuff out, the Halloween stuff. I don't put the Halloween stuff back because it hides. For the 1 week, leaving my garage in disorder, taking the tree. I'm the one bringing each pieces out from the garage. It's a pain. I'm not doing that for 1 week. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do all of this for 1 month. So for me, even now we don't have snow. When I was younger, snow was around Halloween, but now it's green grass. I'm this stuff is going out, and I don't care because it brings all the joy. For me, it's the holidays. It's a season, and you have the school starting in September, and then October is Halloween, and then November. Okay, yeah, Remembrance Day and all of that. Usually hear people start they like to start decorating after Remembrance Day, and then I know you guys it's Thanksgiving, but I say, you know what? No, but I'm the only one judging myself, right? If people judge me for putting my Christmas decoration that early, well, I don't care because it brings me joy. It brings light, and then we dream about what we're gonna do for Christmas. Because right now, it's always just me and my girls. It's been that way for a few years. So it's what's different about Christmas? Well, my house looks awesome. I love
Yep.
the
Me
decoration,
too.
the music. I love it. Like, why would I stop myself from having it? Right. So this is permission for everyone who wants to put their Christmas decoration out. Right. Somebody on TikTok. Also, I am live on TikTok as well. Right. Like, I'm gonna bring some more collective here. But he just said, yeah, do what makes you happy. Right. And I'm so in for that. And I don't judge people for doing what makes them happy. And this,
Yeah.
I'm living one of my dream life. Like, like what you see in movies, the family gatherings and stuff, but I'm the mom who's gonna bring all the family gatherings. So I'm enjoying putting my house super pretty.
Well, it looks beautiful and it gets you in that spirit. It makes you feel so good. I know I took down my Halloween decorations and I'm going to start doing the house eventually when I get the time. But I did bring out some Christmas decorations from the attic. I threw them in the garage. So eventually when it's a nice week, but I don't have time to put them outside. So I can't wait.
Exactly. But that's when you do it in alignment, right? You don't, you want to do it. Like, I'm like, I could have done it last week, right after Halloween. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to make it a chore. Because even I did run all the boxes out. And then I'm like, girls, I'm going for a nap. Like, we took a 2-3 hour nap and they were on their tablet. I'm like, I am done. I don't want to force myself into doing this because then it's just going to be a chore. I want the process of decorating for me is so nice. It makes me feel calm. So I didn't want, I got the boxes out and 3 hours later, I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I still haven't finished like decorating it. So I'm like, I don't care. The boxes are still there with the ornaments. I'll do it when it's going to be fun to do, because the whole thing is not to put pressure on me it's not the goal to be the perfect mom. It's to actually have fun doing memories. And that brings me into the subject of, grieving and people who have gone through grief and who are going to lose people, because obviously, the world turns, people die anyway, and it doesn't matter. We can't stop it. But what I did before my husband passed away, because he passed away in June. And what I did, I was so afraid, like, because also one of his fear was like, I'm afraid my kids won't know I love them. And I know I'm not that good at, keeping, like, talking about him all the time. But I bring, like, the subject once in a while, like, just, you're eating tomatoes. Your dad didn't like tomatoes. And, like, I will bring the subject up here and there. But for a while, I was judging myself on, I'm not doing enough of remembering him, right? But I'm like, okay, I got to take care of myself first.
Yeah.
What I did, though, before he passed away, I did all the memories I could think, right? We did, like, so many, like, recordings, audio recordings, but for Christmas stuff. And I'm going to show them to you because I'm like, one of them. And that's something even you can do with just yourself. You don't need to wait for someone to die for that. And that one thing that I can say is I did so many memories with my husband before he passed away that after I was traumatized that all the souvenirs and memories I was making with my kids, that I was dying. I'm like, am I doing this? Like, all the TikTok videos showing my story, I'm like, am I dying? Like, a part of me still, like, was afraid that I was the one dying because I was doing memories that I would have done with my husband, or that I would do if I was to die, right? Oh, writing this letter, I'm like, the fear. So that I know that that's trauma, and it's super normal. Okay.
Yeah.
You live in the trauma, you think you're gonna die all the time. Oh, pain, I'm gonna die. So for me, actually having fun and enjoying things was very fearful, because I did fun things with my husband before he passed away to make sure we could do as much as we could. So one thing that actually I did, and it's lovely. Now I changed it under my tree, but it's our tree skirt. So what we did is a tree skirt.
You make that? Is that the kid's handprints?
I didn't make it, but like the paint, like, so.
Oh my God.
That was the last thing on my list. And he was super stressed when we did it, because, like, I'm like, come on, just put your hand. And I was the one holding his hand, because he was, like, by the end of his life. And he's like, I don't want to do it, because let me take the time, because I know this is super special for you. And, like, he was stressing out so much. But yeah, so he's got his handprint on the tree skirt. I got mine. And in the middle, I got my baby. She was like 6 months old. So I got, like, her little tiny hands here. And I have, like, my oldest, she was 2.5. So right here, somewhere around, right here. And then what I did is that after that, every year, every Christmas, the girls did their handprints. So we can see their hands growing.
That is so beautiful. Are they labeled, or you just know the smaller to the bigger? And the years, how do you know? Oh, you do. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
I would forget the years. I'd be like, wait a sec.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So that's what I did. And this year, actually, I'm not putting it under the tree. I will have the handprints, but there's a part of me that's kind of like letting go of the past a little bit. And it's a pretty tree skirt, but I find with the hands, I'm like, it doesn't fit the style I'm looking for my house. Like I got some things that I like that. And so I got a nice white one now, but this, like, it's still just for the memory of like still seeing my kids grow. But that was one thing that was super special to me that I asked him to do for us. And like, we always, every year we have it. Like, so like, that was something special. One other thing that, well, and that one just started this year. I guess I want to share these things because, life coaching, I can share about like love attraction and mindset, but also there's life, right? Life happens. And sometimes we don't know what to do. We don't know how we can make moments a good way. And I found this poem, and let me read it. It's not a poem, but it's kind of it's kind of a prayer. It's called Christmas in Heaven. What do? They come down to earth to spend time with you. So save them a seat, just one empty chair. You may not see them, but they will be there. And for so many years,
I know, beautiful.
I was looking at it this morning and I saw other prayers. I'm like, bawling just before. Okay, I'm gonna wipe it off. But so I found this here chair. I wanted to do this for so long. At first, I wanted to have like a bigger chair that we could sit on and just leave in the living room. But I found this one, which is perfect size. And my plan is to have like maybe a little piece of board, write a poem on it. Because my mom passed away, my husband passed away. I have an uncle and an aunt and a grandpa. And
that would be too many chairs. The little ones are fine.
Yes.
They don't need much space.
Exactly. They just get so that's just like, for me, it was like, I love something to remind them, to remember them. And this year when I got all my Christmas decoration out, I cried. Like, I don't cry often, but it was very sentimental. That's why I bring them also earlier. It helps in my healing. It helps. Oh yeah, I did love them, right? For a long time, like, did I really love them? Like, a part of my brain kind of cut off all the love I had for the people that passed away. I'm like, oh well, this was toxic, but I could not see. So I had to kind of transfer and transpose all the good things. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was good. I do miss that, right? So it's been an emotional week. Putting all those Christmas decoration and like remembering the good stuff is also good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one last thing that for me that was it's very special for me. And I'm like, the girls, please do not touch. It's this Christmas ornament here.
Oh,
this one I made myself. Actually, this one has two ornaments in it. The first one was my husband. Like, we were doing I learned to do some etching on glass. And my husband, for Christmas, before he was sick, he had made one with my daughter's first, like when she was like not even 1 year old. She was 10 months old, and he had put her footprint and like said Merry Christmas, or like her name. And so he etched that on the Christmas ornament. And I had done one with her fingerprint, like with her handprint. And then when I moved from Ontario to Quebec, and the whole thing that I moved, one box got squished. And actually, it's not the whole box that got squished. It's like the corner of the box that got squished. And one thing broke. It was the ornament my husband made. Nothing else in my move broke except that one ornament. And I cried like this. I don't know. Like, this was so emotional. Like, I can lose whatever. This one, my husband was not a romantic. He was not doing stuff like that. But that one broke. And it was, I blame my in-laws because they're the one who helped me move. And like, he put the big box heavy on top of that one. But now I'm like, I know it was meant to break. It was meant as a trigger to say, okay,
let it go, release it.
Oh, so what I did, I'm like, okay, what do I do with that? Like, that was also my baby's first handprint, like footprint. And I was so much was just like shattering. Like, my life was shattering. That was kind of the mirror of my life being shattered, right? And so I kept all the pieces on the side of the window. Now that was in August. Now it's December, doing the Christmas tree. I'm like, hey girls, don't touch anything. Like, just the fun one. And my oldest, she was almost 3. And she grabs one, and I go in the kitchen. I hear, psh. I'm like, wait, what? I turn around. It was the one with her handprint that I made.
Oh,
I yelled, I bawled. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, no. And I was crying so much. I felt guilty because I'm yelling at a 2-year-old. And then I'm like, okay, calm down. And I held my daughter so much. And I said, you're still there, right? This was just your handprint. You're still there and you're okay. And that was just to remind me that this is just material. And the most important, she was still there. So what I did later was taking those 2 ornaments, right? I took the broken pieces, I broke them into smaller pieces, and I put them in.
Look.
So yeah, so this ornament, actually, I used this as my logo before I became even a life coach, before I was a speaker. I was like just thinking about, oh, I want to be a life coach. And what I actually did was it's called Osticular, which like, they're your colors. I was not Marie-Ève Mongrain life coach. I was a speaker. And this ball actually was my logo at first. So I had this ball. And it represented to me the grief, right? The grief journey is like a ball with like just mixed up everywhere. So for me, this was like in my logo. And I had a black line coming in on one side, which was like all the negative stuff that we have. And on the other side was my color, like purple and turquoise, because those are my 2 favorite colors. That was coming out like a rainbow on the other side. So things came in. I worked through it in my head, grief, and it came in out the other side. So this actually is what started me as a life coach, and like in helping people. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. I'm transmuting energy. And now like looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's so cool.
Wow, that's beautiful. What a great story. Thank you for sharing. So now you have, let me see the ornament in your hand right now. Let me see that one. That's the, was that the exact ornament that broke too? Did you have like extras?
Oh, I had extra, I got some extra
glass or whatever you
the
call
glass one, and then it just opened the top and then just put it in. And I put some, it's like floor wax or something. I look online how I can make things glue. So if you want, you can make those with that, or like even with glitter. You put wax.
Yeah, that's so pretty. It's like a message in a bottle, but it means so much. It's
And I did one also with my girls, like the little bracelet I got at the hospital. I put one in it. And so I put a little ribbon, and now it's in my tree as well. So this is how I make things like super, super like cute and just memories. Because for me, there's a big things I don't care because they take too much space, but little things like that, oh, they just melt my heart. And every year it's like, oh yes, I remember. And it's just a nice way. That's why I like Christmas. Yes, there's some sadness, but there's so much joy.
Yeah. And to be thankful for, and for the children especially, right? Remember how magical it was for the holidays, and just to wake up and like, wow. And go ahead.
Oh, good. That's okay. Yeah, it is so magical. And then the Elf on the Shelves are coming soon. And are your kids there?
Oh, no. They can't hear anyway. It's only in my ears anyway.
Okay. I can't find my 2 elves on the shelves this year. I emptied out my box, like before I brought the box upstairs, I'm like opening, like, okay, they can open that one. And I don't know where they are.
Oh my goodness. Well, wait, can you buy the same ones? Are they all like the same? You must buy different clothes.
But that's okay.
Okay.
I might just find a note from Santa saying, well, we don't know, like they got sick this year or something. I'll show you a picture of my husband. And like, that was my fan. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, beautiful. What's his name?
Eric.
Oh, look at the baby. He looks so small. Oh my God.
And I've used a lot of black humor. Is it black humor? Dark humor in my grief. And that's why on TikTok, there's a lot of dark humor stuff too. Like, well, a lot. And this picture, I think I told you last week, but it's this picture that I recreated on TikTok for Halloween last year. But like, instead of having him holding my daughter, it was a broom with the white sheet. But it was that exact picture. We wore the same clothes, or very close to that.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. Out. Thank you. No potato chips. 2 boys. I think girls are easier, they say.
That's a belief. I believe my girls are awesome. If you believe your kids are awesome, let me tell you that here. Oh, let's see what's going on in your vibration here.
Ooh.
Are you ready for that?
So, I'm ready.
Ear infection. Let's see.
Yes, ear infection. My goodness.
This is my Bible. I'm like, oh, you got this? Well, let me read that to you.
Yeah.
This is one of the fun thing I do. All right, let's see. Ear. No. Okay, so ear problem. Acoustic. Let's go see acoustic in the room. I don't know. We'll just go see that. It doesn't say ear infection, but acoustic in.
Yeah.
Gotta remember my alphabet. Just this week, I did just yesterday. I did a few videos on TikTok about what we started at the beginning, like the attraction point audit. I asked you a couple questions. We never finished it. Well, we'll have to finish it at one point for sure. But I did all the questions. So if people want to do that the exercise, go on TikTok, Mary Mongrain 90, and you can answer all the questions about your past and what was the worst and the hardest part of your life and how it made you feel. And then we can work from there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see it. Oh man. Okay. Invasive family members have challenged your right to have privacy since childhood, making it difficult to discern appropriate boundaries and interactions. A controlling parent, influential authority figure twisted your truth. The parent guardian didn't respect your emotions, privacy, or feelings, and you lack sufficient support and respect from family members. You are made to feel ashamed for expressing boundaries. Deep down, you are painfully shy and are very conscious of how the world perceives you. Letting people into your life can be experienced as an invasion, so isolation feels comforting and peaceful. Expressing the truth is often challenging. In the past, your truth was often twisted into information that was considered unimportant. Now you doubt your own judgment and the power to make decisions. Your parents communicated in such a way that was not entirely clear, leaving you confused about expectations. A misunderstanding often led to resistance and rebellion on your part. By suppressing your emotions, you were able to avoid punishment. It was your saving grace. So there's a couple more things that in there, but we can say that just like if you no judgment here. If you force them to come and say hi, you're kind of like you're going over their boundaries, right? For them, it's
then he came back, so that was awesome. Yes. Austin came. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna say hi," which is cute.
But that was on him, right? If you force them, you're going over their boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know he's shy, don't force, right? Like we won't force. So I think that, well, I know it's not the same child as the ear infection.
No, that's okay.
But it's the same, right? Even for us, that's something that has happened. Like our parents, like, go kiss grandma, right? Like just.
And you're like, no, you don't want to. And it's like, I remember that my mom forced me to do things. You're right. What if you just let it be? Okay.
Like, is that real love that I have for that person now? Like, I'm an adult. Am I really liking them, or just because I was forced to like them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we can always look at. And that's why I love this. I'm like, oh, I got a sore throat, or I got this, oh, my kids got this. Oh, I did not want to go to work today, actually, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I like to see how the universe brought this for me, because you being at home today is the universe answering a prayer for you somehow.
I also worked in New York City this morning. I've been up since 1:30 this morning, and I worked at the television station. Then I came to the home studio. So I'm like, thank goodness I'm here, though. It's better to work from home, I think, but not every day I get to do this.
So today is a blessing.
It is. I'm very thankful. Yes. And I'm thankful I'm talking to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Like sometimes, like, I don't believe people when they say that. I have to start believing. I'm like, okay, Marie-Ève, you got something that people like, so just enjoy it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm the blessing sometimes. Like sometimes it's hard to believe that when I felt like a burden for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Believing that I'm the blessing, but yeah. So, but I do see how, like, if my kids get sick, I'm like, oh yeah, I did want to stay home today. I could not choose to keep them at home. I did not choose to bring them out of school or daycare, because so someday I will take them out. Oh, in the morning, during the night, they're gonna cough. Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep you home, because I know that at one point, like, if you go back to school, either they'll ship you back home, right? So I prefer that I choose to keep you home than having a calls and come and pick her up, because then it's gonna be bigger and bigger. Because then the children, they know, right? They know they're gonna, if they get sick, they're gonna stay home. But sometimes people are gonna ship them anyway to school just because they don't have any other choice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a mindset, right? We have a mindset there. But just before, I think we don't have that much time left. Today was not about too much about love attraction, but love attraction is what I said today. Actually, might be more what people needed today to hear more about, how to manifesting, right? It's how can I make my life right now a good life?
Yeah.
Because we want to manifesting, but now for me, my journey is like, I'm wanting to love what I have, and I'm tired of wanting to manifest something else, because I'm like, I am happy with where I am. I know things are coming, and there's gonna be better things. Yeah. But I know, like, I'm tired of wanting to have a boyfriend. I'm tired of wanting to move.
Me too.
I know I'm gonna move. I know I want to move at one point. Like it's gonna be something. It's a desire I want.
Yeah.
But I'm just tired of wanting something else than what I have right now. And so I think today that's why I talked about these things, because like what we have right now is amazing. How can we make the most out of it? Because living in the new paradigm in the end is just to be happy. Doesn't matter like if we have what we want or not, because we're happy. We choose to be happy no matter what's going on in our reality. And that's actually when your reality is supposed to catch up with, oh, well, she's happy now. Well, let's just bring her whatever she wanted anyway. Yeah. And you're like, oh, good, I have it. I know I was going to get it anyway at one point. I'm not overly excited because I saw it coming, right? I created it.
And also you taught us that everything happens for a reason today. Look, when that ornament broke out of all the ornaments. How sad.
Oh yeah, but, I know.
And then the other ornament, but your daughter was okay. So it's kind of like the man upstairs has a plan. The universe has a plan. Whatever you believe in, it's just meant to be, and we'll get through it. And, we get tested at times, of course. And now in hindsight, you're like, it's really not that big of a deal. Look, I was able to make such good out of it, right?
But that takes a mindset, because people could have been crying and like being on it for like 2, 3, 4 years and for the rest of their life, right? Mm-hmm. I chose, okay, let's do something out of it. And even like my husband is dead. I choose to do something good with what hand I was dealt with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's a choice. I could just complain all the time, or I could just say, you know what? This is what happened. How can I use this and make it something good?
Yeah. Absolutely. And at times it's not going to be easy, as you know, and a lot of us go through these types of things. So you as a coach, clearly you work with people dealing with grief all the time, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yes.
Clearly you must, you can empathize, clearly losing someone you love, how hard that is. So if someone out there is listening today, what other types of people are you looking to work with? Anyone in particular?
Right now, I guess I'm like, I don't have a niche, but I guess my niche is grief, because that's where grief, but also empowering, because not abusive relationship, but when you have, like feeling unworthy yourself, like low self-esteem, because, you just break up from a relationship, you're grieving there too. Like you're grieving what could have been, you're grieving what was, and then you're starting to see the truth of what actually happened in your life. And you're like, oh my God, I let that happen. Yeah. And then start taking back our power to actually attract something better. So I'm going into kind of, my goal is in the end going into like love coaching, but love, like self-love coaching. That's what I'm doing right now, but that's where I'm like going for.
Oh, good. Well, it's a pleasure having you here. And if we want to reach out to you, tell us the best form in all forms.
Yes, we have Instagram at Mongrain90, TikTok Mongrain90 as well, and my website on Friday this week afternoon will be Marie-Ève Mongrain and Marie-Ève.com.
Oh, perfect. Well, it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you for sharing your stories, your journey. By the way, what time do the kids get home?
My youngest is at 4, so around 4:30, we're all at home.
And then what do you do at nights? Just curious, how does your
we so a little bit at the beginning we do our homework, my girl's homework, and my other daughter is like, oh, I want to do homework too, so she does her book and has fun with that. Then I cook dinner while they watch some comics. The tablet is amazing. And then sometimes we watch more tablet in the evening.
Do they do sports or any activities, dance? No, nothing. So okay, so you're not
gym Saturday morning, and even last week you're like, I don't want to go. I'm like,
good, okay. Aw,
just chill at home and just take it slow. We bathe, like I bathe them maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but like not more, because they're kids, they're clean, like they're fine.
Oh, well, thank you so much. A pleasure having you here. Always love speaking with you. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your night with your family, and we'll talk next week. Okay. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.